What's up YouTube, this is Pokemon and welcome back to another video. So this is going to be a lighthearted video talking about all the drama that is happening in the Pokemon card community. So first I want to give a shout out to Rock Sandy. He actually made a very interesting and very thoughtful video about this whole topic, and it's quite interesting, and his thoughts and how the middle ground he takes, it's amazing. Honestly, it's amazing. I can see that, from the time that, he thought I was a scalper, I was breaking the market, to now that he finally realized and understand that, sometimes things can coexist. And so I think that, his video is very on point. So do go and check that out, guys. Yeah, the other content creator really makes me laugh right now. And to be very honest, I'm not going to say anything bad about them. I'm actually going to say everything good about them, because that's the thing, it's very easy to just pinpoint someone's argument, saying what's bad about what they say, that's they're hypocritical or whatever. But sometimes, if you look past that, there are a lot of values in their arguments to the whole or to the entire Pokemon community. So today, I'm just going to have a very lighthearted video just to talk about some thoughts that I've been seeing on the YouTube with the different content creator. And I hope those content creators don't mind me talking about them. And to be very honest, I'm talking about the good things about them. So let's start off with the big guy, the Pokéref. So Pokéref made a video saying how difficult it is, how, troublesome this Pokemon card market is. Well, he's not exactly wrong. At this point of time, finding products could be very hard. And I think that that video is to just voice out his own frustration. And there's really nothing much to that. And, it resonates with a lot of people. And basically, I think it is a video to pressure Pokemon Company, who definitely is watching his video, or the PR team is at least, to do something, to make a statement, to kind of ease everyone, makes everyone feel a little bit less anxious about the current situation. And I think, it did work, and, Pokemon Company did make a statement that they're going to print more Prismatic Evolution. So, there's nothing wrong with that. So, good job to Pokéref. And we have Alex from Nostalgicnomics. He felt like all the investors are being targeted, and to be honest, he's not wrong. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of investors being targeted, but at the end of the day, a lot of them are still businesses. And sometimes, when you first start collecting and things, you think more about the investment side of things, and you want the products that you're collecting to hold some sort of values, and a lot of the time, arts in arts or in anything else, that's that. And a lot of the time investors are actually benefiting the market. It is actually keeping the market going, because it's creating exposure. It's creating some turnaround with the money. I mean, if there's no investor, if people are not investing in things such as Harry Potter trading card game, it is a collectible item, but chances are that, there's not going to be exposure. People are just going to forget it. And it is these investors which are constantly keeping a interest in this. Because, news, whenever a news channel talks about Pokemon card, they don't talk about, oh my God, this is such a good art, you don't see it on our channel. We see Pokemon cards, but we do see it on the news, talking about, oh, this card is worth that much. And it is impossible to untie the monetary value to the cards. So while, yes, you could suggest that, having too many people thinking about investment first and collecting later, or playing the card game later can be a problem for other card games, for example, Metasu and stuff. But I think that there needs to be a fair dose or fair amount of investor in a Pokemon or in a hobby market, in order to speculate, in order to keep the ball going, kind of thing. So yeah, nothing wrong with what Nostalgicnomics says. Brian. Brian. So a lot of people are saying Pokey NE, not a lot of people, but OK J-Love is saying that Pokey NE is a shield, blah, 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 talking about this. Don't get me wrong. I do think that Brian is a very confident guy, and he is confident in what he says. I've been watching him since the beginning of Japanese products. being, hyped up. I think he did some ribbon ship, here and there. He did a lot of the supplying things, and he made it into a business, which is good for him, because a lot of people have done that, but not a lot of people carried on after the pandemic to grow it into an actual business. A lot of people saw the downturn of Japanese cards and quit, but he evolved and started changing into English and other languages, other products, and so on. So there are some good points to take, and there are some good ideas to take from what he's doing. But is he opening a business easier or whatever? I feel like it's just those card shop live video from many years ago with Darium. And I think it's this content, and he's just showing you another side of things. But even though I do think that Brian might be a little over self-confident, but then he has the right to be. He built up everything, and in a way that people should respect what he's doing. Did I laugh at him when he started opening Prismatic Evolution pre-order at MSRP, thinking that he's going to get all these products? I've been in this hobby long enough. I know he wouldn't, so I was going to wait until to see how he handles this, and he handled it quite well. He bought it off TCG Player. He bought it off the open market to fulfill his orders, even at a loss. So kudos to him, and I think that that's some sort of what do you call it? Those are some. And I think that with the money he spent into this and lost in Prismatic Evolution, I think that, I think he's someone that you should respect. At least he is honoring those orders. So, yeah, good job, Brian. Yeah, you surprised me. I was waiting to see if you are going to cancel the orders and stuff, but you didn't. So that was good. What else? Okay, J-Love. OK J-Love, sometimes people consider him to have a very different take. And to be very honest, I don't disagree with him. I think he just sees things differently. And I think like a lot of things he sees, a lot of content he makes has a sense of artistic sense and to artistic sense to it. And basically he just shows different sides. He's very, very creative in making videos, which, that's very good. And there's a lot of points in his videos that does make sense. So for example, sometimes people call him a hypocrite, but to be very honest, it's not that. If you Rock Sandy's video, it's quite interesting. So Rock Sandy mentioned something about how many things can coexist, which is really good. You guys should really check out Rock Sandy's video. Could coexist, and that's the thing. OK J-Love, say something, and then people attack him for saying he's a hypocrite. But there are a content. There is a very specific. How do I put it? This is not a specific rule, but you have to consider the whole context. I went into his stream and I asked him a question, and I think he answered it beautifully. And it is, for example, these guys, Pikachu's, Van Gogh Pikachu's. Am I scalping them? I got a lot of them at release. People made a lot of videos saying, I am a scalper. I am the reason why this card is going up. I'm the reason why people beat each other up at the museum. I'm not, but anyway. And then people forgot about it. Why? Because they laugh at me and says, hey, collect Pokemon. That guy who had a lot of Van Gogh Pikachu, he paid someone to go there to get it. Look at the price of them now. It's like $70, $80. It dropped. That was totally stupid, blah, 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 blah. Look at it now. I don't care what people say. I've been in this hobby long enough, and I know what's good and what's not. Why am I holding these? I made tons of video talking about how 151 UPC is undervalued. You could get it at $80 any day, every day on eBay. Depending on how deep your pocket is, if you're a deep pocket monster, you can just buy as many of these as you want. And I still have tons of these. People never call those guys a scalper. They weren't a problem. A lot of investors invest into this. What is this going for now? $250? Yeah. So here's the thing. And yeah, like I said, OKJ Love answered this question beautifully. I asked, what happens if a product, no one want, and an investor sees opportunity and buys them all and dries it up into the market? Wouldn't that be better for the, market? And, he says, he doesn't see it as a problem with those investors. And that makes sense. Investors are not always the problem. They can cause problem, but just like anyone else, it can cause problem. Any content creator can cause problem. Any individual can cause problem. Pokemon company can cause a problem. Distribution can cause a problem. Alliance going out of bankruptcy can cause a problem. So there's many problems, right? But I don't think that this community should be divided into, I am on Alex's side, I am on JLove's side, I am on this side. No, we're in the same community. So yeah, you do what you want and learn from other creators. Don't just bash each other. Think about the good things that everyone else is saying. And you might actually learn a thing or two. And instead of doing that, might as well get more collaboration, do some more videos. I think was it Rob Burns and OKJ Love? They did a live video. That was quite interesting. So there's a lot of content to watch and things, right? So yeah, that's my take. And I think that things such as these cards or UPCs, investors are important. Without the investors, a good investor. I mean, like investor that actually looks at long term. We're not talking about flippings and stuff. I mean, there was a lot of points. That's right. You could consider me. So I'm going to put my investor hat on. Would I buy Prismatic Evolution thinking it's a good investment at $100 at Elite Trading Block? No way. As an investor, I'm not going to spend $100 onto that. Like I said, when it was at around $80 or $90, and when Terrestrial Festival was the 60, as an investor, I bought a lot of Terrestrial Festival and I didn't buy a lot of ETBs. But at the start, when the ETB was around $60, $70, $80, similar to the price of one Terrestrial Festival booster box in Japan, I would buy the ETB. So investors are not like people who just sucks up everything that they see. I mean, okay, well, there are some investors that are dumb enough to do that and, they get burned, yes. But, more logical investor would not do that. And as much as like, for example, Alex want to think that he is a Pokemon investor, to me, he's more of a ribbon shipper more than an investor. I don't think he holds on to many of these products for a very long time. I think that he would hold on to it unless and there's a stock and then they would know when to let go. So I think you could say he's more of a short-term investor if you want to put it that way. But I've heard him making videos before saying that he's sold out some collection, buy some, sell some, these sort of stuff. So he is one type of investor, but he's focused more on as well as flipping. Don't get me wrong. I know Alex is going to comment on my video. I mean, there are multiple revenue streams that he could do. He could have held a lot of the products, and then at the same time he could have bought in some product at distribution, open it on ribbon ship to make some money. I mean, that's fine. That's different multiple business model. But yeah. I mean, if you really do ask an investor, I don't think a pure investor would buy into 151. I'm sorry, Prismatic Evolution. But if I could sell rip and ship for, I don't know, $20 a pack for a Prismatic Evolution and I buy it for 15, I would do that. I would rip it on my stream. So yeah, there's no right or wrong, what I'm just trying to say, but it's definitely interesting to see a lot of people coming out to talk about, how this community is doing, blah, 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 and, all these bashing about here and there. But yeah, I mean, I'm too old and this channel is too old and it makes me giggle sometimes seeing them because I kind of know a lot of the history about how a lot of these other YouTube channels have started, and to be honest, they grew beyond me. And I'm a small nobody that, I am always around, but I'm not big or anything. But seeing how the whole community evolve, it's something good. You know, I'm just taking a back seat here, doing my own thing. You know, seeing content creator come and go, and I think that all of them, well, most of them, do have interesting thoughts. And you know, any channels that with more than like 10,000 subscribers or something like that, they have their own following, they have their own fan group, and you know, they survive to that point because that they are offering something to the community. And they're also getting something from the community back. You know, it could be some feeling of success, some feeling of importance. You know, these sort of stuff. And yeah, that's it. So Pokey positive, guys. Stay positive, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. This is Collect Pokemon.